Welcome in. Welcome once again to the newest edition of 3 in, 3 out, the most unique I know Brandon's listening to Seahawks recap show in the multiverse. One of these years, maybe year 8 or year 9, I'll get it right. But we don't have the great Brandon Schultz with us today because my man's vacationing. But we do have the Montana Seahawker himself, Mr. Adam Emmerich, coming in. Adam, buddy, are you still glowing from that beautiful victory versus the Kansas City Chiefs?
It's hard not to be completely honest. That was a really fun performance for the most part. And look, I blame the stumble on your intro on me. Like, it's really my fault. I felt it. I know how I affected you that way. And, but this is going to be a fun one, Clinton, because I think you decided, and I think rightfully so, this isn't 3 in, 3 out this week, Clinton.
Yeah.
This is 3 ins. Let's not talk about any outs. I don't want to. I don't feel like it. I'm still too happy.
One thing I do want to talk about out of the jump here is we got Shane Turner Acoustic with, what's up, dude? With a $2.99 super chat, a little bit of foreshadowing. My man Shane hit me up on Facebook, a little DM and said, hey, check out this timestamp. I'm not going to say which one it was. I'm just going to say that it might be one of the ins we're checking out in today's episode, which is great. We got the snail with us. We got Amy Holmes. We got Bunny with us. Hello to all the flockers out there. And we got Michael Knight, who is new to our Discord, but not new to our hearts out on YouTube. What's up, Michael, as well? All right, so let's go to it. Adam, I'm basically like framing this whole thing with after 2 preseason games, things are getting kind of frothy already, buddy. The national media all of a sudden is going, something might be cooking out in the PNW. So before we dive into all the great stuff, how do you feel about hey, there's a bit of a limelight all of a sudden hitting the Emerald City? What do you think, dude?
Oh, like always, it's a little late, but I'll take it. And anytime we get a little coverage from the national media that's glowing, it feels nice for a hot second. They'll forget about us here in like about 5 weeks, even if we're 5-0. That's just how it goes, but that's okay. And I think one of the big reasons is in terms of preseason performances, that was one of the more dominating preseason performances you're going to see in a while. And I don't know about you, Clinton, but even after a day or two removed here and like just trying to think to myself, hey, it's just preseason, simmer down now and all that. I'm having a hard time making sure I keep this in context because it is just preseason. It is just week 2 in preseason. But gosh dang, man, those were some of the tenets that we've been looking to come to life for this team for a good long time.
Simple, easy, breezy, beautiful yards whenever we wanted them. And it just came, it just manifested itself. And we'll see some of that today in some of these plays as well. And we saw Hoop Craze saying, can't be more excited for this tape review. Well, Hoop, thank you for being out here with us. Definitely appreciate that. During the season, we'll definitely do even more. We're going to cover a couple of plays today. And we're also, stick around because we had from the flock section and we got news and notes to cover and then some of the plays. So we're going to go at this. All right, Adam. So let's dive in. Amy saying we killed the preseason. Yeah, now Amy, you're right. Now we're just going to kill the season. But I think I certainly like how we're trending and gotta always love this, right? Michael Knight, $5. He's a member of the channel. He's in our Discord and a $5 super chat. Michael, you don't have to comment. You could just give money. We appreciate that. But of course, you should know you could comment and give money. We're certainly going to read what you write because you're a smart dude. You're a fun guy. All right. We appreciate that. So, Adam, real quick, what do we need people to do out there in the Flocktiverse? What can they do to help us out?
Well, they could, look towards the bottom of their video and hit like or subscribe, or they can't. I don't care. I'm over it. I'm tired of people like, just begging for subs and all that stuff. So do whatever the hell you want, or get in the flock because it's a good time. It'd be a little flocker.
Yeah,
it's great.
It is great. One of the good reasons that if you are out there subscribing is that you'll see the polls we put out, which we put out polls a couple times a week. This one just put up like maybe 2 hours before the show, wanted to kind of take a pulse. And we asked who should be the Seahawks starting center, and 3 choices there. Hey, it's still Olu, or nope, it's Jalen's turn. He's earned it. Or I'm so conflicted. I'm kind of torn right now. Adam, 60% says, hey, this is Jalen. Jalen should be our center. And the other 2 are kind of dividing the other 40% up there with Olu, like with it being like it's Olu's still as the lowest at only 18%. But 6 out of 10 flockers say it's Sundell's turn, baby. What do you think?
It's tough to watch a guy maybe lose his job because of injury, and you all hear the Wally Pip thing and all that stuff. But at this point, I would agree with the consensus on the poll, because Sundell has been out there being the starting center for the last couple of games, and you talk about building chemistry. We've talked about this for years about, man, if we could just get 5 guys that could play, that could stay out there for a little bit and build that offensive line chemistry, because they really do need to be able to, with just a look, know, hey, we see this game coming our way. We're going to pass this off. You're going to take that guy. Bada bing, bada boom, and away you go. Jalen has been in there developing that chemistry with the rookie Zabel, and then also with what seems to be a resurgent Anthony Bradford. So I would be hesitant to screw with that. It just don't fix. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's where I'm at on that.
And it looks like we have a backup to the backup plan with the HGG saying, I'll be the center. I got this. So confidence is high, at least. Adam?
Yeah. Hey, look, I actually played center in middle school before everybody grew, and I didn't at that time. And I was awful at it. So I don't think I am ready to go. Maybe HHG is, but I would be a disaster. I know that.
Two things that are not awful, and one more reason to subscribe is, hey, Monday, which is tomorrow. Monday, we have Coach Derek from All 22 coming on. If you don't know his channel, it's right there on screen. So just look for All 22 Film. I think he's All 22 NFL Cuts out on Twitter.
Yep.
Awesome analysis. He really covers 3 main teams. He's a Ravens fan. He covers the Lions. He covers the Seahawks, and he covers those other teams because the fan base reciprocates, and his videos are awesome. So he's going to come on and talk about what he's seeing with the rookies tomorrow night. Check that out. And then Tuesday, Adam, what do we got cooking Tuesday, bud?
This dude named Earl. I don't know why you call these people. I don't even know, like, who 29, who the hell wore 29? Just some guy named Earl Thomas. He'll be here on Tuesday. It'll be a good time. Yeah.
No biggie. Earl will be with us on Tuesday. So if you didn't have another reason to subscribe, well, now you do. So, all right, news and notes. We're going to fly through these because we still have some tape review to do, but there are some big honking things that happened, and maybe, Adam, some of this might even be news to you. We'll see, or news to the flockers that are joining us right now. Well, first things first is that we're going to say Tom Pelissero reporting that there is no imminent deal for Trey Hendrickson, number 91 in the Bengals. Leading sack guy basically last 2 years, 30-year-old. He's had a very good career, couple of really good years with the Saints, couple of great years with the Bengals. Our pass rush is maybe missing that just dominant edge. Adam, should we, would we, will we? What do you think?
Do you think this team is a Super Bowl contender in the next 2 years, this year and next year?
Yes.
Like a legitimate Super Bowl contender, like one of the top 3 to 4 Super Bowl contenders.
I do.
Okay. I think it's a little early to tell, but we could be. I would need a little more certainty on that before I'd want to pull the trigger on this sort of trade, just because he is a little bit older. I mean, he's on the wrong side of 30. And if you're going to make a deal like this is one of those guys that you bring in to help you win this season. If not this season, then it better be next season. Because if you don't hit that window in that time period there, whatever it is you give up, it really genuinely is not worth it at the end of the day. So for me, this would be not a hard pass, but like thought about it. Sounds good. I think maybe for the trajectory of this team, where it's at right now, I would say no. If this was Micah Parsons, you give Jerry pretty much whatever he wants. The dude's 26. He's in the middle of his prime. You got 5-6 years to try to go get that chip with Micah. I feel like Trey Hendrickson's fit is going to be more for a team like, say, like the Bills, who are just trying to get over the hump. Like, go out there, give up the future F them picks, and try to get over the Chiefs hump this year. And I'm not sure that we're quite there yet. We'll find out in a few weeks, but it's still too unknown for me.
Yeah, I mean, you are forever the pragmatist, and I'm forever the optimist. So I'm going to always try to think a little bit higher with what I think about. Always is harsh, but I'm often the optimist, where I'm going to be like, yeah, I think we're a little bit better maybe than the average bear thinks, and I'm also absolutely riding still high on what we just saw. Just saw these last 2 preseason games, so I totally get it. But I do think with Trey Hendrickson, elevates the team sincerely on defense, and it's already a good defense. I think this is a top 10 to 12 defense kind of if things just kind of go normal this year. And I think it could pitch quite a bit higher. And I think Hendrickson definitely does that for us.
Trey Hendrickson, good dude, seemingly, and a heck of a player. Obviously, the NFL sack leader this year. So let's say you do a trade for the cost that Marlon brought up in his comment just a minute ago, a first and $30 million a year. I like that price point. I feel like it probably would be more than that.
It's
probably like a first and a third, and then you're going to have to re-up him. Yeah,
it's also going to be closer to 40. I mean, he's not going to get TJ Watt money, but he's not going to not get in that ballpark. It just is what it is. And I understand what Marlon is getting at. And to me, that'd be smash it. Like, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. I think he's going to be more like 37, 38, but for me, I rarely haggle over the dollars in the draft when ESPN's buying the NFL and the NFL owns 10% of ESPN and the ratings are through the roof again and they're expanding to Brazil. It's that the money train for the NFL, I don't think is the problem. So
yeah,
catching back up with overspending. I just don't think there's like a lot of fiscal punishment in the NFL in 2025.
If you can get out from under Russell Wilson's Denver deal, like you can get out from under anything at that point, right? Even if it's a total disaster. And you're totally right about the salary cap going up. But my number one concern would be the draft picks. And then number two would be, does that impede some of the potential growth from Mafe and Hall and some of the young guys that you are actually trying to develop for the future? Maybe. I don't know. It's just all things you would consider if you're John Schneider and Mike McDonald. We'll see.
Could be. I think Mafe or Hall would be part of the package, most likely, because I don't think they're going to want to take anybody else. Josh, I see your comment. I'm going to hold it for 1 second for a reason. We'll put it on in a second. But our Ryan 911 with another $9.99 super chat. He says, "Go Hawks!" After the game on whatever it was, 2 a.m. for me, and after the game versus Kansas City, our Ryan was out on a trip, a work trip that was, and braving some elements. I think energy producing is his world, and dropped us a $99.99 super chat. So,
holy schmoly, Oli!
You were on,
Lord,
you were with,
Ryan.
You were with us. You were live with me with that. Do you not remember?
Yeah. No, it's amazing. So generous.
Yeah. I mean, all the flockers, they're amazing, right? So, and of course, Ryan's a great member of our Discord too. I did promise to get to Josh's thing, but after this one, we have some more Seahawks updates. These are like on the fringe of Seahawks, but they matter. Dominic Pooney, second-year guard, who many people wanted over Christian Haynes when that was going on back 2 drafts ago. Now was like, all right, Pooney's a good-looking guard. I think it's Kansas. He's from Kansas, but he got dinged just yesterday or or today, whatever it was. He's out. They're saying probably like at least a few weeks. So he is immediately. I don't think it's an absolute out for week 1, but that's coming real quick. It looks like he's going to be out for week 1 versus our Seahawks, Adam. This is not a stellar offensive line to begin with. And now they just lost a starting guard.
This could be really difficult for them. So I think they have something like 25 dudes that are injured right now and not suiting up. And, the same injury bugaboos that these Niners seem to deal with on the regular. And Pooney's easily their second best offensive lineman in my opinion. And
I think so.
Yeah. And kind of the guy I think that a lot of people in San Fran are looking at and going, yeah, he's probably our future in the trenches. Once Trent Williams gone, he's going to be the leader of things. So them actually losing him for the first few weeks of the season is a big deal, especially when you consider they lost Dillard, the guy they brought in to try to replace Burford as their swing tackle.
Yeah.
Because Trent Williams always goes down at some point during the year for at least a week or two. It could be a rough go for the Niners, especially out of the start. And we've seen that before from them in the seasons after they catastrophically lose Super Bowls. So like you would think, I understand they didn't make it this year, but maybe they're finally on that downward trend rather than kind of the yo-yo that we've seen over the years?
I don't know. Vegas says they're winning at least, at least 17 games because they're the 49ers and there's no way. But that's a pretty big loss. And I'm not cheering for injury, but now that it's happened, take a few weeks off, young man. Heal up maybe by the second quarter of the NFL season. Why don't you, right? Take a little time. I did promise we'd get Josh back on screen with his comment. And here's why, because Brady Henderson reporting amongst others, he says McDonald on Nwosu passing his physical. So Nwosu is back. He's off the PUP list and basically can start practicing right away. Great news. Nwosu is a really, really talented edge player. I'm thrilled that he's back. I think he's our straight up best, like all around edge player. And I think our most solid run defender, especially last couple of years when he's healthy. DeMarcus Lawrence might have something to say about that this year, Adam. But you see Mike spin move, which is Griffin Sturgeon with the subtweet there on screen as well. He was just talking about the splits with Nwosu and how drastically different our team is to the better when Nwosu's in. And one more guest, we're going to have Griff next week too. We got to figure out the date, but Griff is going to come on from the Seattle Overload podcast and talk about what he's seeing from the rookie class and this growing and the Kubiak offense as well. But to the news, Adam, Nwosu's back, baby.
Nwosu's back, and you'd mentioned our best overall edge player, and I'd say pre-injury, that was a very accurate statement.
Yeah.
I kind of need to see it because it hasn't just been one injury. It's been multiple now. And It's been a good long time since he's been on the field as well. So as excited as I am for Nwosu, the person, without question, because, fantastic guy. I'm very reticent to think that like bringing him back is going to be the boost that maybe we would initially expect. But if he is healed up and he can stay healthy and stay on the field for 5, 6, 10 weeks, I think going into the end of the season, you might see that same Nwosu that we came to love when he first came to Seattle.
Yeah, that'd be great. I got fooled last year. And I remember getting blasted out on Twitter, and some dude was just like, "It's like you're out of your mind if you think he's going to come back and just be him again. Like this, these things take time." And I was like, "Yeah, but he's been." I just I'm a bit of a Pollyanna sometimes, and I was like, "Oh, come on, man, he's been out for a while, and Nwosu's going to step right in." And I was wrong. Nwosu was not good down the stretch last year, and it's not like he's suddenly forgets how to play football. It was just clear he didn't have his speed. And he just did not have his cut ability, and it showed out a decent amount of times. So I'm with you on this one. I could be a bit more of a pragmatist and say, let's see it on the field because this is injury stacking up. Exciting that he's back, and maybe he gets some time this week with the Packers, or probably not. Probably limped in, and we'll see if he gets any time on the field week 1. But it's a welcome thing that certainly he's back. And I did want to see Jason Turner earlier said Master Nwosu. I saw that on screen. And that's a great Jedi Master name there. So good job. All right. So I'm going to skip this one because that's all good. I put this up because it's fun, Adam. And I know you love 80s music. Just love seeing Oots, and people love seeing Halani, and they deserve the love. By the way, I put this up in the Discord, and immediately I forget who it was. I should give credit where due, but somebody said a couple of man eaters. And I said, damn it, I should have wrote that myself, but fantastic. We also got to see Halani do his thing and Oots do his thing. We're not going to cover them in the film review, but I wanted to give you one more moment to talk about having a fullback again.
Look, there's nothing that makes me happier in the world. I was actually talking with my buddy Bronco Jared a little while ago, and he's just talking about, I was like, dude, I think we're actually going to have a fullback. And he was even giddy about it because it's been a dying breed in the NFL for way too long. And I don't know, we've done this show now this is season 13, 14, whatever Brandon and I decided the other day.
Yeah.
And I've been saying for about this last 6, 7 years, like whenever they figure out that a ground and pound team that actually plays that physical, run it down your throat style every week, like whenever a team figures that out, they're going to be unstoppable because the league has been going smaller and trying to stop the passing game and, too high shells and the whole thing. And so this duo of Halani and Oates, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Even if you're not an 80s fan, like I am. All right. We got Michael Knight saying there's one thing I'd like to discuss. Jercadia Wright, number 31. What do you guys think? I think he's far more Apt. I'm like, apartment? Nope, that's just the word apt, Clint. Apt, then Martinez. Thus far, I like his strength and running style. Do the Hawks keep him? Okay. I mean, so Martinez, 7th-round pick. Jarcadia, a UDFA. Jarcadia has looked a bit more shifty. With that, I think there is a little bit of a Damian Martinez out with the bathwater after 2 games. And for me, I'll pass to you in a second, Adam, but for me, I thought Damian Martinez was markedly better game 2 than he was game 1. And there's a lot of film on that dude at Miami, being aggressive, going downhill real quick. Did not see that game 1. I thought I saw a good amount of that game 2. And then when it comes to sneakability onto the practice squad, I don't think anybody's touching Jarcadia White if he has to go to the practice squad, but somebody very well might take a flyer on Damian Martinez. So I think those things are flipped, Michael, my opinion. But Adam, what do you think, dude?
I really like the burst that you see out of Wright. I think he's got a little more overall roundness to his game, being able to get to the outside and get the corner. Whereas Martinez is that, one cut, go, slasher, bowling ball type of back. And you'd mentioned his time at Miami. You can see it on the tape there. But if you really want to see it, go back a year before that, Oregon State, where they were actually running this wide zone concept. And he was damn good.
Right
now, if you're going to try to sneak 1 or 2 of these dudes onto the practice squad, I think you could probably do it. I mean, I don't know that there's going to be too many teams that are going to be looking to pluck guys that were 7th-round running backs, UDFA running backs from other teams. There's just a lot of guys out there, especially after this year in a loaded running back draft. So you could probably get both those guys to the practice squad if that's their plan.
Yep. I think there's possibly, running backs are aplenty in the NFL. That's just, look, K9 hasn't sniffed the field yet, and and we ran for 1,000 bajillion yards against the Chiefs, last time, like 9 yards a carry for 2 different dudes. And our most talented back, again, availability aside, hasn't touched the field yet. So it'll be very interesting. I also saw a nice discussion in the chat too about Clowney. If it's like, if Nwosu's not quite, because we're talking about Trey Hendrickson, right? So that's just kind of domino. Do we go get Trey if he's available? Maybe so, maybe not. The price will be high. It is what it is. He's an elite pass rusher. All right, Nwosu's back, but can we trust it? A lot of folks I saw saying, there were more going to what you were saying, Adam, which I agree with. Is like, got to see it. And then people were like, hey, what about Clowney? Should we just go get the dude who had his best season with Mike McDonald, who knows how to deploy him, and he'll be dirt cheap. So Adam, back to where you think the team is right now. What do you think about the plug and play ability of, Clowney?
I'd have to look at the numbers of where we're at as far as edge guys and the kind of the tweener guys like the Mike Mose of the world. And just to kind of see how that would shake out in terms of how many of them that they would normally keep. Because I haven't really done a deep dive on the roster and the numbers when we're talking about cutting down to the final roster number here. And if you did bring in Clowney, which would be nice depth, because you make a good point about Coach Mike getting great performance out of him in really Baltimore just 2 years ago. An older player, he would be cheap and he would be nice depth. But does that mean that you're keeping one less tight end or one less receiver or something along those lines? Because you can't just keep them all. I mean, this isn't like a fast food promotion. You can't collect them all, right? Like,
it's not
so
come on, man.
Interesting.
It's not Pokemon. So Josh is saying Clowney would provide more of the running stop depth, with maybe once in a while get to the QB in run stopping depth downs with D-Law. Yeah, I mean, he had some, he still got 5.5 sacks last year on Carolina, and Carolina was a subpar team last year. And then he had some really, he had a very, very good season with McDonald. So I think he approached 10 sacks or 9.5 sacks. All good. It'd be interesting to me. And I saw a question up earlier. I kind of want to honor real quick, was about Ivy. And I think Ivy makes this team. I think he's already on the 53. I just think he's shown that's a dude that you're not sneaking Ivy to the practice squad. He was supposed to get drafted, and because he ran his slow 3-cone, basically, it's like, his 3-cone was really, really bad. So they talk about baby out with the bathwater, Adam. They threw out years worth of tape because he wasn't great pivoting around orange cones in underwear. What are we
Yeah.
doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean that's how you do it, right? That's how you evaluate players. How they play football, not as important as how they run around in underwear. I mean that's the way I do it. It's foolproof. That's why I do so great with the quarterbacks. Is I don't look at their game tape at all. I just listen to the hype and look at numbers on a piece of paper from Underwear Olympics. So.
Yes, well, I'm thrilled that the Halani and Oates graphic was the graphic we could keep on the screen for the very, very most part of this show. But
If it makes you happy,
time.
buddy. If it makes you happy, I don't know.
It certainly does. All right, it is time. It is time to get to those ins. Remember, today we're just doing 3 ins. I do have one extra in, so you can call it a fourth. Stick around for that fourth one because I guarantee, if you're a Seahawks fan, you will revel in it as much as I did when I cut up the tape. All right, so in one, we're going to call 18 to life. All right, Adam, I always try to give little clues, little hat tips to where we're going. So if you see 18 to life, who do you think we're talking about in this first clip?
Arroyo.
Look at you. Look at ding, ding, ding. First answer on the border. So we're going to go to the videotape here. So what we're seeing, I got to pause it real quick just to set it up. So you got Drew and shotgun here, and it's like a little stack to the right. I know they're in motion already. 3rd and 4, you can see that about the 36-yard line, and there's one receiver to the top. This is the play where Drew scrambles, looks like he should score a touchdown, decides not to score a touchdown, but he goes down to like the 5-yard line, right? So what I want y'all to concentrate on is you see Arroyo towards the bottom of the screen, and we have a couple of angles you don't got to worry about if you don't catch the first time. But this is the one Shane Turner pinged me, who gave that $2.99 super chat earlier. He pinged me and said, "Hey, go check out Arroyo's downfield blocking." And it's kind of, look, these are the things that I love you're saying, Adam. Give me the fizz when I see a rookie tight end who he's not exactly a great inline blocker yet. Again, he's maybe a willing inline blocker, but when he's doing these things downfield, that this proves to me what folks are saying, that hey, he's willing, he'll do it, he'll get there. Watch Arroyo, and you'll see a couple more angles that make it a little easier to follow. But that's Arroyo right there, crossing the screen, working that
business.
Guy. Yeah. And we get a couple of nicer angles coming up here. So Arroyo's on the left-hand side. Now the one piece, I slow it down in a second. The one piece is, I wonder if he gets lucky. I wonder if he got lucky if he runs into his guy, and we'll see it slower in a sec as well. So now he's starting to block, but he starts blocking. I just did he run into his guy? Did he know Drew was taking off? I can't parse that. So what do you think from the film? Either way, he drives the guy later for sure. He picks it up because he's legal. He's not blocking before.
All right, stop it. Stop it before he kind of makes his move to get to 6 there.
Okay.
Because that's what. Yeah, I bet you he caught Drew out the corner of his eye.
Right?
I think he did. And because it looks like he legit hunts that back. Or the safety, or whoever he's going up against there, the safety type.
He's either blindly running into him, and it's and he just got lucky. But then he does a good job, or he saw Drew break. And because this is not a design run. This is not like a QB draw. I went back. Scramble. Yeah, because the pocket collapses. It's kind of a bad job on the offensive line for who had an awesome game. So we're not throwing shit at the offensive line. And I think I have one. This might be the last one. Either way. But then he just keeps driving that DB off the carpet there. Yeah, that was it. So an absolute love fest for Arroyo. Play it through a few more times. What do you want to say about the Rook, bud?
Well, I think that this show is focused around the nooks and crannies, right? So I'm glad that you brought up Arroyo because again, I haven't gone back and really watched him as they had him as an inline blocker yet. That's on my to-do list going into week 3 of the preseason here. But he was out there giving it a go. And then the thing that I really liked was that Clint Kubiak was able to use him in a way on a few of the run plays as a decoy to pull a defender out of the box and take it from being an 11 on 11 with another dude in motion, Arroyo out into the flat, and actually turn it into like a 9 on 9 or an 8 on 8. And that was pretty cool. And even if he's not Captain Awesome at blocking throughout his career, you can see that Clint's got a plan to at least use the threat of his receiving ability to help open up holes as well. And he didn't have a huge game, but he had a couple nice catches. It was just solid. And I think for a rookie, that's a great game.
And it's the tight end, right? They don't need to be flashy to be very effective. We saw Barner be effective in this game. We saw Arroyo, like you just laid out, just be an effective tight end. So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm over the moon. And that's really not what 3 and 3 out is even about. It's like, oh, I'm over the moon for this guy. It is simply like little moments within that, in a blowout victory where there was some glaring winners, that we've been talking about for 2 days straight. Something like this might get lost in the sauce. But again, I got to give love to Shane Turner because he's like, hey man, I think you'll dig this one. So I did. And I had less time than I usually do. So I was like very grateful to get one that I was like, that's exactly the kind of thing that I would love to peel out. I saw something on screen by Josh saying Arroyo and Horton are making it harder and harder to keep MVS. Now it's like MVS is in bubble wrap. He hasn't really been on. Did he even get snaps during the game? I
felt like he was out there on the first drive for
probably
a play or two, but
right?
I don't know. I haven't done the rewatch yet, so I don't know.
All right. So in the comments, if MVS was on there, and I hate crapping on people because again, at the reaction show we did, like MVS was a big part of Super Bowl teams, and helped, like you said, Adam, helped catapult a couple MVPs there, right? So he's had a really good NFL career, and I like the signing, and we made it. And with all that, we had better options. We got better options. Like that's it. Okay, so thank you. We got producer Brandon hopping in back there. I said happen, Brandon. I think it's a you thing to see hack some happen here, but MVS was out there for some snaps. We appreciate that. All right, so we are going to go back now. We are back to this clue. All right, so Adam, that should say in number 2, but sometimes by hack, in number 2 is going to be late is great. So I'm talking about something that happened. I'll give you a clue. I'm not saying late in the third quarter, late in the fourth quarter. I mean the ability to do something late in a play. That's the clue I'll leave for you there. Any idea who might be talking about today?
Do something
tough
late
one.
in the play. Yeah, that is a tough one. How about Jason Myers making a tackle late on some piss poor coverage in front of him?
I do like that, but I that's good. Not the one I'm going for. Look, folks, when Jake Bobo scores 2 touchdowns, and we're going to cycle through this real quick. When Jake Bobo scores 2 touchdowns, we're going to cover some Jake Bobo. And the late is great. What I'm referring to, Jake Bobo, top of screen here, we're letting it roll. It's just a bit of late hands, a little late hands. And then specifically, it's not just the hands, it's the hand and feet combination, because we're going to zoom in here, Adam, so you can take a look at it. I love what we get from Bobo in the red zone. I think he's a different type of threat than yes, he's been on the team. Yes, this is year 3, but watch these feet. Look what he's doing. I mean, he's not going to burn people. He's not even specifically open. Drew Lock has got, balls the size of freaking Kansas. He's going to throw the ball over the DB's head because he's Drew Lock. It's also a throw Gina would make, by the way, right? He's like, I could do that. And knowing that he could go trust this guy, but the combination of a little bit of shove off, but you're not going to get caught, but enough of a savvy to create the tiniest little window, and to pair that with these hands and feet combo, man, I think Jake just keeps showing that he's a part of this team, no matter how you slice it at him.
Well, big shout out to Rockman Drums. He had the guess before you even brought it up.
Did he?
He did.
Oh my gosh. Whoa. There it is. Okay. I wasn't so Brandon's working the comments. Great job. Dang, dude. That's
very
a
impressive.
pull. That's a pull. Brandon, is there anything we can send that guy? Jeez Louise. I'm assuming Rockman Drums is a guy because he has man in his name, but geez Louise, let's get that guy a patch or something. Holy cow. That's a great guess.
No, great guess. Or not even a guess. It sounds like it was a educated thought that he put out there, because he saw exactly what you did. And, you talk about Jake Bobo, what he does bring to the table and what he doesn't. And we all know the speed isn't there, but he is a big bodied guy, and he does all of the other things on a high professional level. And he's a very smart player, and he's got great feel. Yes. And I think that's the thing that stands out the most about him. This was a great job by him, as you aptly pointed out, with the late hands. And then I think it takes guys a little bit coming out of college to get the 2 feet thing in and be able to sacrifice your body to be able to get that second foot down. And that's what he does here. He's like, I'm going to take a face plant after this. I don't care.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
And he gets a second foot down. Good stuff there. With that said, I don't know what that corner's doing. That's god awful. Get your head around, buddy. Like, that's terrible.
It happens pretty quick. I got you. It just happens pretty quick. I mean, the ball's out. This is the real speed. I mean, 1, 2, the ball's out, so I get it. And he gets a little bit, like I said, a little bit of a professional shove. So he just creates that bit of space, but it's the subtle things that you're hinting at, right? It's first of all, I think he's a really, really solid, just point of catch dude. He get up and really get to that apogee and snag the ball out of the air. And then the feet combo we talked about already. It's just, to me. And also remember that Jake had 2 touchdowns. His first touchdown, he gets a little bubble screen, and he almost takes not of a misstep, but he kind of takes a step back and reassesses what's happening. And then once he gets north, he makes 2 little shifty little moves, and once again finds the end zone. He's a savvy player, man. He's just savvy. So I think almost every Seahawks fan would love to see more Bobo on a more consistent basis. Even if it's back to year 1 Bobo, where it was okay in the red zone, there's a real good possibility he's going to get at least a shot or two. Cause last year, amongst other things, it felt like Grubb was, didn't really have a plan for Bobo, but at the end of the day, didn't feel like Grubb really had a plan for much of our offense, to be flat honest, right?
Yeah, and look, when I think of Jake Bobo's skill set and everything, I think a lot of Travis Kelce in terms of never been the fastest dude, never been the fastest, but just super savvy, gets out there, makes big catches, has big moment ability, and that's something that's completely immeasurable. Like, there's no 3-cone drill out there that can measure somebody's clutchiness like that. And if he was 50 pounds heavier, 60 pounds heavier, he probably would be in that Kelce mold. But just the idea of doing everything else.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit all of a sudden there. So let's check it. But Nate saying you can't keep Bobo off the roster, and we got Stewart saying you can't put Bobo in a corner. Love all that. So, and Nate again comes saying like a late Jason Witten. Jason Witten was a heck of a tight end for sure. And you mentioned Travis Kelce. We have our own little Travis Kelce. His name's AJ Barner, and he's quite good. All right, Adam, how is your audio? You back, bud?
I think I'm back. We're testing out some things after the live post-game show meltdown. We'll see how it goes here.
Love it. And Marlon saying, you all talking about the great punt returner, Bobo? I was like, I don't want Bobo returning punts. Like there's other dudes to throw out there, but he was a 20-yard return, right? Later in the game.
Yeah, sure.
I know.
You're going to punt returns. We're right back to Brian Walters land.
I disagree. Just with the huge one sample, he caught the ball and went north. He actually didn't fair catch it. So immediately he's out of Brian Walters' land because he didn't fair catch it, but that's okay. All right, let's take it to number 3. Here's the clue. So this is like Godzilla attacks, right? So, but Gazella attacks. So who out there might have looked like an open field gazelle in the way that they are so darn athletic? Who do you think I might be referring to? And chat, if you could guess. Brandon, by the way, your producer back there, I think we have a whole new segment where the flock guesses the clues, as you try to as well. But Gazella attacks. What do you think? Lost your audio, Adam. Can you hear me? The things he's saying are probably so good. This guy's probably on fire. Adam, can you hear us? We lost your audio, bud. Rockman Drum saying Charbonnet. It's not Charbonnet. It's not Charbonnet on this one. It's Amy with Halani. It's not Halani. So we're going to try to give Adam a little time to recover here. but we appreciate the guesses for sure. So Gazella attacks, not Halani, not Charbonnet. Yeah. Michael Knight with the super chat. Adam, can you hear us now? Adam, I think I heard you.
I can.
Oh, there
I
we
can.
go. There we go.
Yeah,
it's really
I can
cool.
hear you.
It's super cool when your equipment just decides to stop working and then comes back on. That's like a nice feature, right?
Especially when there's no rhyme or reason to it, which is a little like your clue. I've got nothing, man. Fix some technical issues and try to come up with what Gazella attacks. I don't know, man. You got me stumped.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. It's going to be Zabel and oh my gosh. So Nate shoot. All right. So look, Nate might have pulled it off. We're seeing the end of Bobo here, and we'll get right to it. I'll give away the ghost. It is as it gets on screen. Okay. So what you're seeing out there is Zabel getting out to the second level super quick on this Damian Martinez scamper. But as you watch this from a few different angles, what's really, really cool about this, and I'll show that first real speed one because it's interesting. First of all, watch. He's coming from left guard. Watch how quick watch how fast he is on this linebacker. It's insane. We're not used to this. Watch this. Watch Zabel. Okay. All right. 5 yards downfield, 6 yards downfield. Okay. Now look at what he had to do. This is pretty crazy. So that angle is a little quick. I have another one coming up in a second. But the dude is playing the one tech. What I want you all to watch is the guy playing the one tech here, or whatever, the shaded here 3. Or actually the guy here, I'm not sure you can see my cursor, but either way, the guy off of Zabel's left shoulder, he basically tries to trip him. So it might be the dude who's playing the shade off of Sundale, but a guy tries to kind of stick out his leg. Watch what Zabel does to get to the linebacker. Here we go. A little okay, a little hop, a little skipperoo, a little skip it. So in motion, like now, whether he's trying to do it or not, I think he actually is trying to do that. I think he realizes that Zabel is on his way because the guy really extends that leg out there. It's a little dirty actually, because you could hyperextend the guy real quick. Now, maybe he's not. Maybe he's just getting blown off the ball by Sundell also. But boy, oh boy, Adam, the athleticism on the line here to get to that second level that quickly, dude, it's outrageously good.
Yeah, the quickness in the feet, in the light feet, and just whoop right over the leg there, just like that. Crazy. And then getting to the second level. And I think that was what the most impressive thing was from the interior offensive linemen throughout this game, was their ability to get to the second level. And not even just interior guys. I mean, shoot, watch, I think Abe even gets up to the second. Nope, it's Bradford. He gets up to the second level there as well, and it's just a delight to see. And they are really working so well in concert together, and Zabel's athleticism has really stood out. Now there's another play earlier in the game where he get
all right, we're losing you again there, but
it looks very similar to that. Only when he's jumping over the leg, he gets way out over his skis and he like ends up just taking a face plant into the ground, and it doesn't look great. So I love the aggression. I love the speed. Yeah. He's going to have to learn to get it more consistently, just a little under control. He's playing like a rookie in terms of trying to play a little too fast at times, but this is fun, man. That's great tape.
Yeah, and I saw earlier, I think it was Rockman Drums saying, if you said Godzilla, well, that was the point, Rockman Drums. I appreciate that, but it's a gazelle being Godzilla-like, hence God, however I said it, whatever I said, it was Godzilla inspired. So hopefully, I'm glad you picked that up. Also, at the very end of this too, which I thought was really, really cool, is that he hurdles the guy, and then he gets to the linebacker. And then linebacker kind of gets his hands in his face. He still swings his hips. He still gets in like the best position possible to seal this off completely. It is just sheer athleticism. One of the things, and again, tomorrow night, we're going to have Coach Derek on. One of the things that Coach Derek talked about in one of his breakdowns recently, like last week's breakdown about Zabel, is like, even when he loses, he gets back to a tie. He gets back to a draw. It's like when he wins, he wins, but his athleticism is so, so visible / like so omnipresent that even if he gets defeated out of the gate in a certain play, he's so darn athletic that he can battle back to a draw really quickly. And in the NFL, most often, if you at least draw, you're fine. It's not a negative play. And then you've got other playmakers around you. So you've at least done your part. So that was a really, I think, a good example of that just raw athleticism just showing out. So it got me super excited. Obviously, we ran the crap out of the ball. Obviously, the O-line was just dominant, absolutely dominant. And we had backs that read things really, really well. So kudos to them as well. And the tight ends as well, and wide receiver blocking. But again, it's those little micro moments, the nooks and crannies that really excite me. And I wasn't sure most people had seen that fact so far. That example of his athleticism, Adam.
The athleticism, the IQ, the idea that he turns the defender away from the running back at the end there. What does he have? Eyes in the back of his head? How does he even know which way to go on that? That's fantastic. Good feel with that. And I think the other thing to note with the offensive line moving people like they did in the Mack truck size holes that they were opening up, you have to give it to the backs, not just for like seeing it, but for timing it up right. There was a number of plays that if they get there a little early, if they get there just a smidge later, then that hole isn't there for them to exploit the way that they did. And I think Charbonnet and Holani did a very nice job with that throughout the game. And that was also another little nook and cranny that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, love it. Love it. One little cranny from our flockers here. We got Skyrocket 35. I know it's not.
That was cool, man. From the Philippines.
Yeah,
dude.
it's a Seahawks fan from the Philippines. That's awesome, dude. Let's go Hawks. I mean, it's basically like Wednesday there. So thank you for joining us on a Wednesday morning. But dude, that's amazing. It's so cool. I remember the last time we were out in Seattle, which I can't wait because like that trip to the home opener is a couple of weeks away. But last time we were out in Seattle for, I think it was Panthers game. We were in line at the bathroom. We met a couple people from Hawaii that were there that recognized us. I was like, this is just dream come true type stuff. So man, I love that. So thank you, Skyrocket. That's really, really cool. And glad you're with us. And Nate, yes, I saw your comment too, that it's easy to read when there's a whole ass boulevard to run through. Very, very true. And to Adam's point, there's still a matter of timing. There's still a matter of when to burst through, even if you have a big hole. And then it often comes down to, even in those scenarios, do you tuck it back inside, bump it outside? There's obviously still decisions, but the point is well taken. I'm happy that we're reviewing tape with holes that are that friggin' big because our linemen are good and the scheme and the coaching is really good. All right, so this one, no one's gonna get it. Damn it, he got it. If you happen to get this one, let me see. What can I send you? I have like an autograph of like Marcus True font, a cool 8x10. If you get this, I'll send you an 8x10. Just from the clue alone. Not you, Adam, because you don't need it.
Yeah,
but our flockers. So, but the only clue that I'll put on the clue is that this is not a Seahawks highlight. Okay, it's a football highlight. It's a football highlight from the past weekend. It is not.
It's from not even from this game.
It's not the Seahawks. So,
well, then good luck. I don't know. I was doing other stuff. It's go time here, man. I don't have time to watch 45 football games over the weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, look, the only thing I could say is Lisa Carson's buzzing around the tower. She's buzzing. Okay. So if there's any other guesses before I press play, put it in the chat. No, that's funny. Sirianni icing the kicker. I didn't even see that. That's amazing. Did he really do that in the preseason game? That's amazing.
That's such a Sirianni thing if he did. That makes sense.
Here we go. All right. Timestamp that. So, hey, he won. Derek Williamson gets it. Derek, I need your address.
Take a bow, man.
I know I have something signed. I think it's a True Font 8x10. I think it's right here. I will get it to you. I promise you. Get me your address, because if we're going to end anything with the ends, it's going to be Ashton Genty. We got one more here, running over.
It's hard to watch it again. Oh, it's just so beautiful.
What's his face? How do you say his name? Lenore.
Oh, we'll go with Lenore.
Lenore. Yeah,
it's like Diamandre, or I can never. And that's no disrespect to him. I'm just an idiot.
So, and this is the guy that got like -1 yards against us, I think.
Yeah,
Genty. So -1 yards against us, but over the 49ers, it looked a bit more a bit more like this.
Take a seat. Dang, bro.
I loved it. I had to show it, and I'm thrilled that Derek guessed it. So if you saw Brandon's comment there, Derek, email the address gohawks@seahawkerspodcast.com, and I will make sure I get this to you. But Adam, seeing the 49ers get absolutely run over, what's it do for you, bud?
Well, obviously it brings me a lot of joy, but I don't know what the final rushing numbers look like for the Raiders in this game, but we saw that the Niners went out this offseason, and the only thing that they really cared about in any way, shape, or form was getting younger on defense and making sure those guys can stop the run. Like, that was their modus operandi throughout the entire offseason. If Ashton Genty is already making them look stupid, boom, like that, like, yeah, that's great.
Oh, it's so good. I thought it'd be a very, very fun place to end the 3-and-3 out, which again was a bit truncated. And my philosophy on giving outs in the preseason is a little bit like this. I shared it with you over a text earlier, Adam. Like, I don't like nitpicking dudes who are like on the bubble and a better athlete than I could ever dream to be, and who are who are pursuing their dream. So if they're like, having an out in the preseason, I try to focus on outs from dudes that are starters that I'm like, okay, I'm not, trying to dig on some dude because he's a fourth string cornerback who is actually an amazing athlete and is trying to chase his dreams. So this week, it's like, what are we going to come on? Talk about the special teams being bad. Everybody knows the special teams are bad, and the starters were good. So I was like, you know what, let's just have a more joyous event, go through the ends, and we'll save the outs maybe for preseason 3, and then maybe for real game 1, depending on if we shut the stupid 49ers out or not. Because, by the way, the regular season rule is if we get a shutout, it's 6 straight ins. It's a perfect game. There are no outs in the shutout.
I love it, and I'm looking forward to it. I think a shutout might be in range, like, with just as beat up as the Niners are coming in that game. But then again, we haven't seen CMC out there. We haven't seen Trent Williams out there. They still have Kittle. We'll go from there. But yeah, I enjoy the way that you went about this today, Clinton, with the idea of a lot of these dudes, this is their big moment in, their pictures are going to be hung up in the local bar and all that stuff. No need to take any bloom off that rose right now. All these guys were the best dudes in their state at one point,
Exactly.
Yeah.
These are, and they're all young men trying to make it happen. We get to the regular season and I'm not even going to say what might happen. Hopefully it's all good, but so I'm not going to cast anything ill into the universe here, but we'll revisit that then with a bit more of a serious tone. But for now, it's a celebration. So this has been awesome. We got over 100 people with us on a Sunday night. I know the M's and Mets. I'm not sure if there's an update in the chat there. I'm sure there's some Mariners fans watching. It's baseball, Adam. 7-3 Metsies, top 8. Sorry to the Mariners fans. I'm a Mets fan, so y'all could kick rocks for a sec. It's all good. Go M's rest of the way though, baby. Go M's. Let's go. But Adam, what should folks do? And if they've been getting value, if they want to check in tomorrow night with Coach Derek and all 22, if they want to hang with Earl Thomas on Tuesday night, if they want to be in our Discord for amazing perks in our Facebook Ring of Honor and get chances to come hang with us live when we go to the games in San Francisco, when we go to the game later this year in Tennessee, what do people got to do, man, to be involved?
Well, it's pretty simple. You just go to the website on the screen. And if you're that literate, then you belong with the rest of the group, because that's the bar that we set. Like, you have to be able to read, because what you should do this week is do the $3 a month, get in the Discord, because when we do bring Earl on, we've already cleared it with him that we're going to curate some questions from the Discord, from our little flockers, for Earl Thomas. You want to get your question in and see if we can't fit it in throughout that interview. It's going to be relatively short. He doesn't have a ton of time, but get in the flock.com, get in the Discord, and who knows, your question could be up on screen and you'll hear Earl Thomas respond to it.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that. That's going to be a ton of fun. We have a huge week coming up. And then, of course, it's all centered around our Seahawks going out there with the Packers and having the scrimmages. And then we got the last preseason game. this is shaping up to be an amazingly fun season. So, ride along with us and be part of what I think, Adam, is the funnest community out there in the Seahawks universe, bud.
The most funnest. In
Yes,
all the funniest of the ways, for sure. No, great crew, man, and you can't go wrong. And we do appreciate your guys' support. It really does what makes it really is what makes it so that we can do 5-6 shows a week. We're even thinking about changing some things up towards the end of the week this year. I don't know. It could get a little spicy.
Careful. All right. I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go